Hey guys, EJ here, and today I'm going to be doing a video about 10 out of 10 albums. First things first, I have a new background. We kind of put a shelf up, and I put some of the albums. These albums are not all 10 out of 10, but these are all albums that I quite enjoy. In general, what is a 10 out of 10 album? This is something that I've been thinking about a lot more after my 1975 review of Notes on a Conditional Form. That album to me is the first 10 out of 10 of this era in music. And this by era, I mean decade. When I actually stop and think about it, there is around 30-ish albums I would give a 10 out of 10 to throughout history. On a good day, it might be a little more. But what do all these albums have in common? This is something that I believe you guys should know if I'm going to be reviewing albums. And I'm going to be giving a 10 out of 10 every now and then. So, what is it? Well, first things first, I simply go based on my opinion for starters. I know that there are albums that may musically be 10 out of 10. They may musically be very flawless. But the first thing I look at is simply how it rings with me. If I listen to it and it doesn't click with me immediately, and after multiple listens it still doesn't click with me, and I still feel like there's something missing, chances are that album won't be a 10 out of 10. If I listen to an album and I immediately love it, the chances of that album getting a 10 out of 10 go through the roof. If I listen to an album, I don't love it immediately, but it starts growing on me a lot after multiple listens, once again, the chances of that album being a 10 out of 10 have gone through the roof. Now, this kind of goes right into my next category, listenability. Sometimes a very, very, very listenable album that I could listen to no matter my mood is very likely to get a 10 out of 10, but even if I don't feel like I have to listen to this album every single day, the album could still be a 10 out of 10. For example, Green Day's Dookie to me is a 10 out of 10 album. That's an album that no matter my mood, I could turn on and listen to and enjoy quite a bit. Whereas Aphex Twin's Selected Ambient Works Volume 2 is also a 10 out of 10 in my opinion, but that's not really an album that I would just sit down and listen to no matter my mood. That's sort of an album that I need to be I have the right mindset for. Same goes with Elliott Smith's self-titled album, another album that to me would be a 10 out of 10 that I need to be in the right mindset to listen to. So the next part that I sort of look at overall would have to be its impact on music in general. One of the things that really sticks out to me about the 90s, per se, is that there's a good amount of albums that I consider to be 10 out of 10 there. The Offspring Smash is a pretty punk album, and it doesn't necessarily bring much new to the genre, but it's the accumulation of everything I liked about punk in the 70s, 80s, and 90s up to that point, and it's put together in the perfect package. Now, you see, there are a lot of other albums that do the complete opposite. Whereas the Offspring, Green Day, a lot of those bands, those 10 out of 10 albums are the accumulation of everything I liked. Albums like Kid A, albums like Notes on a Conditional Form, albums like Digital Ash and a Digital Urn by Bright Eyes are all pretty big left turns in music. You know, Kid A with a huge shift in sound from the more rock-inspired, music of Radiohead in the 90s, and yet I think they executed it perfectly, and I think that's a 10 out of 10. The new 1975 album is not a drastic change in sound, but they definitely bring many more influences in there, and they did a great job executing that album, and that album to me is a 10 out of 10. On Bright Eyes, Digital Ash, and a Digital Urn, they sort of abandoned some of their acoustic roots on a lot of these tracks, and in my opinion, it's their strongest album. So yeah, usually for me, the way I categorize a 10 out of 10 is if I personally feel like there's very negative to say about it, and I know that it's a high point for the artist and the genre, chances are that you're gonna get a 10 out of 10 score from me. But that's about it for now. EJ here, signing out.